The reason I talk about finance strategy, the problem we see here is that this is an area that I see a lot when I do tax resolution. So people have to think.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're listening to this podcast from, we want to salute you. Thank you for making the time to be here today. Today, we are in our second edition of this program. And again, I have here my colleague and friend, Amit Chandel. He is a powerhouse in this game, and we are here to educate you on what basically you can do. Today, we have a very, very important topic that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the concept of a team. This is so important because our game is about a team. The difference between what we do as strategists and what other tax preparing firms or other firms will be doing is all about strategy. It's all about the team. The team has a lot to play in this game. So today we're going to talk about different aspects of the team. What are the different members of the team and what are their roles and how do they impact the strategy game? And one of the key people we're going to be talking about today is a tax planner, a financial planner. So the crucial role of financial planners in tax optimization and estate planning. Today we're going to tell you about that particular role and how it affects the game. But before I even get there, I want to talk about the different roles. Amit, I want to bring you in. Let's maybe we want to start about telling people the different members of this team, the typical team of a strategy firm. What is that typical team that we need in order to help people play this game?
Well, Charles, the way what you said, it is a team. It is always a team that brings out, because our goal is to make people into the top 3%, 1% category. And to bring them to that level, you and I, as tax planners, we can save tax. But what happens is, planner is important for the team, and the other part of the team is attorneys doing estate planning. And we need planners are very, very critical, because we save, let's say I save you $600,000 in taxes, then what? It's just $600,000. But end of the day, we need to make that money grow. It has to
Absolutely.
grow for your wealth and build your wealth. And we need to have a financial planner on the team to help us grow. But at the same time, the financial planner is needed because they can't arbitrarily do whatever they want to do, because it has a tax implication of everything that we do. So we have to work with them to bring it. Most CPAs work in silos. They do not talk to the financial planners. Financial planners don't talk to the CPAs. And the CPAs do not see, for example, if you did a stock trade or anything during the year, you don't see them till after the year. You get a 1099B from the year, Charles Schwab's or of the world. And that's when you come up with, as a CPA, I can do nothing because everything is cast in stone. A financial planner working with us, we can work with them and see if we can harvest some losses, harvest some gains, to move things around, see what the market is, how the implication is from the tax perspective. Because end of the day, our objective is to make you wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Estate planning is the key. Yeah, you were saying something. Let me know.
And
Yeah,
that
go
is
ahead.
very important. Then you need the estate attorneys. We work with them, estate attorneys, because we need to safeguard your assets. We need to make you asset protected. We want to, when you're retiring and going away, or you're selling your companies, you still have to worry about estate planning at that time, because you're going to pay capital gain taxes. It's a big, horrendous thing. And we want to grow in wealth in our later years. We need to do a partnership with everything. Or it's like a surgeon going into surgery cannot work alone and cannot operate surgery, do a surgery on its own. He does need an anesthesiologist. He does need his nurses. He need everybody. We are the surgeon, and we need our anesthesiologist, which is our financial plan. We need a nurses and our whole team who we bring together. If you really did this a holistic approach to your financial wealth, that's what the top 1% does.
Absolutely. You couldn't say that any better. You could not say that any better. And I mean, There is this concept in our game where we talk about family offices, and that is the typical game where you see everybody. You would see the strategists, you see the estate attorneys, you see the financial planners, you will see the real estate brokers, you will see the loan officers, you will see the bookkeepers, you will see the tax preparers. All of these. Remember, in all that team I just outlined there was just one line there where you see a tax preparer, and this is where most single offices work, where you have just a tax preparer. The tax preparer alone, no matter how much he tells you that he can help you with taxes, he can only do a little bit, very small part of it. And just like you said, there is this big thing about estate planning. When we save money for you, let's say you were going to pay $100,000 in taxes. We saved you the taxes. Then what? Like you actually said it. Then what? What do you do to the money becomes the most important part. You have your children working for you. And when the children have worked for you, you've paid them, you've done all the things, you've kept the timesheet, they work for you. All these things, you've done them rightly. Then now that you've saved the money, you've put the money in the bank account for the kids, then what? That's where you bring this guy who's the financial planner. He makes sure he sets up some investing buckets for these children, for these kids, so that the kids now can start growing wealth. And that is where these people, if you don't work in a team, you're going to miss a whole big part of it. Because when we talk about estate plan, when we talk about what we are doing, we're talking about asset protection. Is a big part of it, right? And that asset protection, I cannot sit here as a CPA telling you, or as a strategist telling you that I am going to do all your asset protection. It doesn't work. I need attorneys, estate attorneys to do that. I cannot sit here and say, okay, I'm going to help you put your money in a Roth, in a 401k, or even this. That guy is going to come and help you, give you what type of buckets, financial planning buckets, whether to put your money in. You could put your money in life insurance, in some sort of buckets. All these financial planning buckets where you can basically grow your wealth, because that's the game. Our game is not just to save your money, but our game is to build wealth. And then we build that wealth for you, and then we protect that wealth for you. And that's where all these people come in. Whatever you want to invest in, say you wanted to invest in real estate, you need a real estate person to be part of the team. And that's why we have a real estate broker who will help you structure wherever you are. If he is not in your location, he basically reaches out and within his network, identify the best person to help you with that process, right?
You're very correct. And just taking a little example, you gave of children. We know college education is expensive.
Yes.
And hire the kids, do the things. And if their monies are not managed properly, you're still paying for their college out of your pocket when the time comes. Or your kid is taking a student loan. But if we have a financial planner who helps us to make that money that we put aside for the kids, in addition to the hiring the kid, now the kid can, at the end of the day, at the proper investments, proper things can have enough money stacked up for college from there itself, without doing the 529s of what people normally do. But it's much better. This way, you're not tied to one particular school. You're not tied with everything. The kid can go anywhere they want and have money to grow their wealth themselves. If they don't use it, it multiplies for them. It's their retirement, but it's something, a legacy we left for the kids. And think of us as a tax planners. If you visualize a cycle wheel, all these financial planner, tax, state attorneys, and all preparers, bookkeepers, they're the spokes of the cycle wheel.
Yes, absolutely.
And without we as the hub of that cycle wheel, we bring everything to you together. Think of those rays from the hub. We have all these going out, and now we are coming together. Our office, where we, as in our firm, we bring people together so that they can do the right thing, help you grow, get you to the 1%, possibly as much as we can.
Absolutely. You couldn't say that any better. You couldn't say that. And especially, there is an area that we have talked about it quite a bit. We help a lot of people with it. We are speaking, you remember, we speak most especially to physicians. We speak to these medical doctors. And one of the key things that medical doctors have is called student loans. That's a big area where we have a lot of questions coming in. We have a lot of questions coming in terms of student loans. I want us to talk a little bit about, I know, I don't know if I'm taking us out of our topic of discussion today, but it's important because I got off with one of my clients just a few minutes ago, and he has $450,000 of balance on student loans. How do we help them?
Yeah, the $450,000 balance on a student loan is a horrendous amount. they spend most of their lifetime paying the student loans upfront. Their incomes are low, but they're paying student loans. They got to maintain their lifestyles and do everything else. But it can be. But even if president does not come out with his student loan forgiveness, we can use this strategies within us. If the doctors can reach out to us, we can work with them if they owe $200,000 or more in student loan. We can work with them to mitigate the student loan, if reduce or defer it, or not defer it, basically avoid it completely, because the monies are gone away. By the end of the day, they will not have to end up paying student loan. And it all boils down to tax planning. If we do the tax planning with, and it is not one aspect of the plan we have to do, we have to do the overall holistic approach to the whole thing. You can't segmentize things. You have to do the right thing at the right time and do it right. So if I can, let's say if you're not paying, let's take the example of student loan. As a doctor, now I'm not paying student loan back. I got this money in my pocket. That money is only so much. Say most doctors are paying 200, 3,000, $2,000 to $3,000 in student loan every month. If that money comes to you, that money is now growing for you with a financial plan. If anything goes to Uncle Sam or goes to paying your student loans, what happens? You have no use of that money. You can't touch it. You can't do anything with it. But with a financial planner, we can set up your retirement plans. We can set up everything to go with that, and use that money to benefit you. Get you life insurances with death benefits, that which you should have. Or what happens? Say you as a doctor are out of the equation. Something happens.
Yeah.
Are you going to leave your family, your wife, your children in a poorer state than they were when they are right now? You want to maintain them, maintain their lifestyle. And that's the
Yeah.
only possible if a financial planner is involved. And we have one of the best financial planners on our team. And the thing is, when we work with financial planner, unlike other CPAs, they either tell you to go to your financial planner who has got no idea of your tax plan or tax idea, or the financial tax, the CPA has no idea what the financial planner set up. But
That's exactly it.
when we sit down together, we work with our estate attorneys, financial planners, and everybody, so we can discuss, like sitting around a round table discussing your situation, your particular case. We are not leaving you in isolation. We want a complete picture of you. You want to be healthy all around, not fix one part of it. If I'm going into surgery as a doctor, I don't, and I find something else in, let's say I'm going to operate on your stomach. I'm going to find something else in there that I know is going to go south. I'm not going to leave you alone right there. I'm going to take care of it.
Absolutely.
So why not do everything for yourself when you're doing taxes?
I mean, you just said something that's very important. And I get that all the time with our clients. We have to explain to them. We have to explain to them when we do our assessment, for example, how we normally sit as a team. I think we have to do some back office sessions where we basically sit together, where we are sitting together, and we can show the teams, show the people what we basically, I think that's something we'll issues. Because I imagine us, for example, when we have our clients they don't realize how much effort, how much meetings we have before we come up with strategies. We have these meetings where within ourselves, I am speaking to Ahmed, I am speaking to Alfred, I am speaking to Dr. Pan, I'm speaking to Shirley, I'm speaking to all these people who are different parts of our game. We're meeting and then we're talking about these things individually and collectively before we even come to present our assessment delivery. That is the most important document we have, because before we ever present that document, imagine the number of meetings we've had before. Just you and I, we talk like how many times a day, how many times we come for meetings just to talk about the same client. And they don't see this. People don't see this. When we come with the delivery, at the end of the day, we're showing them that this is how much we're getting from this strategy, this strategy, this strategy. It's the mind, the belief is that, okay, Charles maybe or Ahmed just sat down and brought down these strategies and things like that. But this is never our be. This is the result of many meetings we've had, talking about all the nitty-gritties of each of those strategies and how they affect that client. So before we come to this client, especially the planning section, because the most important thing for strategy is not only avoiding taxes, but using that money to build wealth. Using that money to build wealth. And many a times we have strategies that might work in year one, but they mean nothing in year two. They mean nothing in going forward. And some of those strategies, you just end up striking them just because maybe the planning phase of your finances don't make sense in the game.
Very true. It's just like take an army general. He takes out his infantry and he says, "Here, that's the enemy. Go fight." If you
Yes,
don't give a plan to your troops, you're not going to win that war.
absolutely not.
You
Absolutely not.
cannot find anybody and you cannot win it. So the basic idea is when we are fighting here, we are coming with strategy. We're working those out. It's a long process, multiple things. You and I need to talk about it. Our planners talk about it. Our attorneys talk about it. We talk together as a team. So we come up with what is needed. We put a blueprint together, and like you rightfully call the plan, blueprint. So we have to put that blueprint together, just like an architect has to put a blueprint before your house is constructed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we lay the foundation, we make sure everything is working fine. Then we build your house on top. Then we add the amenities to a house, make it beautiful and everything. And beautification of your house is akin to saving taxes and growing your wealth. And we work
Absolutely.
hand in glove with our financial planners, grow your wealth. And then even if the financial planners are growing your wealth, we need to take a look at it. What is it? Now the money is growing. How are we going to mitigate taxes on that money? We need to come back to it. Not just growing your wealth. We need to mitigate taxes. What good is it if I saved you $600,000, going back to the same example, and next time you grew your wealth to $2 million. Now Uncle Sam comes back and says, "Hey, great, that's good job, Amit. You saved him 600, but now we get a bigger lion's share out of the 2 million."
Yes. Yes.
But who should be getting the lion's share? The taxpayer should be getting the lion's share, not Uncle Sam. Yes, we want to pay taxes, but the bottom line is fair amount of tax, which is according to the IRS Bill of Right for us on their website, the fair amount of tax, the legal amount of tax, using the tax. We do not advocate evasion of taxes. We do not want to evade taxes. I don't want to put anybody in an orange jumpsuit or a striped jumpsuit. We want them to make money and save money the legal way, avoid the money like the Judge Leonard Hand of the Second District Court said. Avoidance is your birthright. So why not avoid it the right way and save the taxes? And it's the same thing. And using the tax laws, it's easier to point out fingers as say like President Trump in the debate. I remember that debate clearly. It was great. He did everything by the law. That's why he paid only $750 in taxes, because they use Musk pays zero, Zuckerberg pays nothing. Is all because they use the law and the codes, and who knows the 270,000 pages of tax code. Us, and we work with our team of planners, estate attorneys, and everybody, and it goes. Now, let's talk about estate taxes. We know in 2026, estate taxes are going back down.
Yes. Yes. They're
And
going to have it.
and then your estate is already in a lot of states like California, New York, in some places of Texas. You're probably in the state tax bracket.
Absolutely.
And what are you going to do about it? And then President Biden's proposal is to raise capital gain taxes to 39.6. Now, if capital gain goes to 39.6, that is higher than your regular income tax.
It takes us to a place where we have to rethink the whole strategy altogether. Because that's one of our biggest strategies. That's one of the places where we've been playing the game. If capital gains up to now, the maximum is 20%. You take it to that number, you just double it.
Yeah, and it's basically avoiding it. That's why we need financial planners to work with us. We need them as much as they need us. And who needs us most as a team? Our taxpayer clients.
Yes.
Putting this team together, what we've done in our firm is to put our team together to help you as a tax.
You know what? I'm just looking at the question that is coming from a viewer. He says, "Can you please explain the key functions of a financial planner in the context of tax optimization?" That's an important question. I think we've talked about it in general terms, but again, and this fall in line. I was speaking in a group just last week to a group of physicians, and they were all seated in the hall, and one of them asked me, "Charles, what is a financial advisor?" Okay. And I was like, okay, that's a great question, because a financial advisor is one of those big terms that mean nothing. They really mean nothing. It's a big term. When you come to financial advice, we are all financial advisors, regardless of where you are. But in the financial advice space, there are specialists. Somebody who is doing this, he's a specialist in this. Maybe he's a financial planner. He's still a financial advisor. You have somebody who is a certified financial. They are certified in different roles. You're either a planner, you're an estate strategist, you are a CPA. All these people, when they come together with the different roles that they do, they provide you financial advice. That's what becomes the whole of financial advice. But if you're looking for one person who is a financial advisor, that's a big term that basically means nothing. Now, having said that, let me come back to this question where he's asking us to explain the roles, what are the functions of a financial planner. A financial planner is that guy who takes your money and put them in the buckets where you make money. He is that guy who is going to help you make money, multiply the money that has been saved.
See, the financial
That is
planner, end of the day, people will run into millions of financial planners. You get
yes,
somebody with a CFP or something out there, there are millions of financial planners out there.
yes,
But a financial planner that understands taxes, who knows it very well, like our person on our team,
yes,
he understands taxes. He can come to you with things that is tax beneficial for you. Come up with ideas. A financial planner otherwise makes sell you an insurance policy that means diddly for you, but capitalize on something. Like I was saying, I think we were talking before. We had this client. We saved him taxes. After the taxes, we put the money away into his retirement. Now he's got a life insurance on top of it, and he has a death benefit. So if something happens to them, this main source, he's leaving a legacy for his family to live on, at least close to the lifestyle, and that is only possible if you have the right financial planner, right estate attorney, and the right strategist. And tax strategists like us, we work with them as much as they do. But important for us to know what is good for the client. Otherwise, they can do. I had another case where we had a guy, and it's prime time on their tax returns to convert their IRA into Roth IRA, and still not, because we had some losses on the books. But the financial planner from Charles Schwab, I think that was a company, did not understand what we were doing and was ready to pay taxes on the conversion to IRS. We said, no, don't pay the taxes, because we can use this loss to save you taxes, and it's the perfect timing.
yes.
It is. And the financial planner who understand that's on our team can do anything, and he'll be on the next presentation, I hope.
You know, it is amazing you brought this, because this is the reason. This is one of the biggest reason we work as a team. You want to work as a team. 90% of our clients, many of the clients who come to us, they've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. They've already tried this from many different sources, and they get to a roadblock. They get to a place where they are facing a brick wall. They can't do it anymore. Why? You say, oh, I heard this little thing on the YouTube channel said this advisor, you go and look for an attorney. He does the A. That A is completely opposite to what the tax plan is looking for. We are not working. You have this guy who is working on his interest. He wants to make his own commission. He gets his commission from you, and then that's fine. It serves a purpose, but has nothing to do with what you're trying to achieve. And this is the reason why we all come together. We have all these people. When we talk about a team, we cannot emphasize any more on this, because we cannot overemphasize this, because that is where we are all thinking in the same direction.
See,
what can we do for this client that is going to, we are thinking about strategies that are going to, number one, save you on taxes. Now we've saved you on taxes. There are so many good things out there that may not necessarily be for you because of your circumstance. Because of your circumstance, not particularly on the tax standpoint, but because of your family circumstance, but because of how much you have in saving circumstance. So once we look at all of those things, we are thinking there are certain strategies that might be good for other people. They just don't work for you. And that's why we come together with all these different people. We have the planner, the attorney, the real estate. We come together, and then we're thinking in the same direction for you, so that we are not only saving you in taxes, but we are also giving you that asset protection that you need. And we're putting your money in those buckets that multiply your money in the best way possible. There's no better thing. This is the most important thing. Yes.
And then we turn around and save you taxes, and the monies grow. Think of yourself as a wheel. I'm going back to the cycle wheel example again. You have a wheel, but you're missing the hub. Do you think that can be put on a cycle and the cycle run?
It doesn't. No way. No way.
That's what we put together when we work with this team, a team of tax strategists, team of financial planners, team of estate planning attorneys, and others are bookkeepers, tax preparers, and all. That is what makes you move like the wheel in a right direction. Otherwise, if you don't put this down together, there'll be no place for in a car. You won't have no place to put an axle in, and a cycle you have no place to put a chain on. Which direction are you going to go? you're not going anywhere. And so when you work together with a team that is congruent and together and knows what is needed, works together to build thing together, that's why people need to come to us, our team, so that we can, at the end of the day, have the right person for each case. And rather than going around, it's easier to say, oh, I have a financial planner, I can go to him or her. But end of the day, that guy or her, that lady does not understand what the tax plan is. How are we going to bring about? Because they're not
Absolutely.
very taxes. But our financial planner on our team is well versed in it. He knows what is needed. He knows what will benefit the taxpayer and how he can multiply the number. And when he multiplies the number, we come back in, reduce the taxes from Uncle Sam, and put the money back in your pocket because you didn't grow the money outside just to end up paying taxes. That's not our goal. Our aim is to make you wealthy and keep most of what you make.
This answers the next question that I had from another listener. He says, "How do financial planners tailor estate planning to fit different financial situations?" And that's exactly what we've been answering here. We've been answering, basically, we're talking about working in congruence, working together as a team to meet that goal. That is so important because, if this guy, remember this guy, when I came, I've worked with a lot of different financial planners in the past when I started this game. There are so many of them who come into the game and their whole intent, they're coming from the point of view where he wants to sell that particular policy or he wants to sell that particular type of program because he's going to make money out of it and he thinks it is good for you. The next question you ask him is, how does that match with the whole idea of tax mitigation? How does that mitigate his taxes? The answer, there's no answer for it. What is going to happen to that in year 2 when he has this large level of income? You don't have no answer for it. So basically, the planners have to tailor their planning in line with the overall objective of what we're trying to achieve. Mm-hmm. And we always go on the basis of those objectives. 3 things that everybody out there wants to see. You want to, number 1, avoid paying taxes in the most legal way to Uncle Sam. What are those things that I can do in the most legal way that will help me avoid paying the $100, $200, $300, $500,000 taxes to Uncle Sam? Once we have determined that, we looked at it from all these different angles, including financial planning. The second thing is now identified. And there are instances where it's all about cost benefit. We look at it, we do extrapolations of if I was to take this particular program over 5 years, 10 years, what is it going to bring me? If I was to save taxes today, maybe I'd save the whole lot of taxes today, but over the next 10 years, my net gain is a loss. Is that beneficial to my client? If the answer is no, we don't play the game. We just don't play the game. We are playing the game of making sure that, because our clients, we want to make sure that in 10 years, we have been able to build a very sustainable relationship, a strong relationship. In 10, 20 years, we are all together in the game, laughing together, because we have built extensive generational wealth that you are not stuck in that place where you have taxes to pay. And once you have done that, we talked about asset. You want to protect those assets, asset protection, tax mitigation, and wealth building. Wealth building without losing any of the other 2 elements we just talked about. That is the critical thing. Your wealth is in the tax code. Your wealth in the tax code. Tax planning, every element of tax plan, whether you're putting money in 401k, whether you're putting money in life insurance, whether you're putting money in SEC, in Roth, in whatever bucket, whether you want to do, whether you're financing whatever type of activity, whether you're doing captive insurance or whatever you want to do, all of that an element of the tax code. And if you miss it, the tax planner who is doing all of this without correlating it to the tax code is a mistake. He doesn't understand what tax plan is all about. And that is the key here.
That is the bottom line, and that's the truth and fact. And it's not like the planners are like you said, you have to have the right strategist, right planner, and right estate attorney. like we save taxes, they help them grow. State attorneys help them protect them. If any element of this missing, they are not doing the right job. They're going to lose unpaid taxes to Uncle Ben. Bottom line is work with it where there is a team, where there are people. It's not one CPA or one planner or anything because it's only working in isolation. Work where there is a team and they know what is going on. They don't have to be sitting on every meeting with the taxpayer. Often we coordinate when they need to come in and at what time because it's much better working with them on a right way. If people just go doing whatever they want, you're going to go in 120 direct and you'll never achieve the goal. And that's why we need them and we are the coaches. We coach them in the right direction.
Absolutely. You just said something that's very important. As a strategist, we look at the big picture. And then when we bring all these different professionals of the different backgrounds in, our role is to basically coach them, basically make sure that they are meeting our overall objective for that client. They are meeting that overall objective. So I just wanted to add something to what you already said so well. This guy is asking another question. Maybe, you want to answer that question. He says, how has the role of financial planners evolved with changes in tax legislation over recent years? How has that role evolved?
Well, the role of the tax planner is has really evolved with the changes. Think of it a nuclear fusion. When you do a nuclear fusion or you do something like that, you have this big cloud that comes out when you have a nuclear fusion, say a nuclear bomb or something. It's a big cloud,
yes,
automatic, and there'll be nothing. When nuclear fusion destroys the whole community. But this nuclear fusion of art with the financial planner, the evolution of financial planner working with us is not a destruction; it's a construction. We construct your future is we build that nuclear fusion to bring together. Like I was reading about the AI technology that's coming out. They're doing some in a lab in Northern California of a nuclear fusion where they built a star in a lab. And that nuclear fusion, and they said we have enough technology now to put 29 barrels of oil, 29,000 barrels of oil in a bottle of a Coke. Imagine that. That's what we are trying to do with our team, is putting that 29,000 barrels of oil in a bottle of Coke, and you are the bottle of Coke. What you're doing right now is a lot of people are paying their social security taxes and just doing it. I had a case today, perfect example. A CPA did this and had no logical explanation, and he's paying his social security self-employment tax could be completely avoided or mitigated to a drastic only with a strategy change. That money would have been the taxpayer's pocket. Created a situation where that guy has to pay social security taxes on self-employment income, which we can avoid. Financial planner can take that money that was saved, make it grow. And now when it's grown, we bring it together and protect it for your family, your children, your legacy. Everything negotiate in such a way that and put the things together so that end of the day, it's you or your family or your children are the ones that do benefit from the wealth you create. Rockefeller did not create a wealth just for himself. He created a wealth for his family for generations, to which they've added. And only reason they have been able to add is because they had a financial planner there, they had the taxes planner there, and estate attorneys to protect everything. If you just go to a general financial planner, they will sell you a policy that means nothing. And it's not, insurance policies are not ordinarily deductible, but if it's planned the right way, we can make that insurance policy deductible if done right.
Yeah, you are saying something that is just making me think. Remember the original, when a few years ago when we started this game, the typical financial planner was that guy who his role was basically to come and help you put money in all these buckets, whether an IRA, whether a 401k. Their role was basic. They had basic roles and they had no idea about the tax code. They were playing on what they had been told to do. That was it. It was just those traditional things that you have to do. Today, with the tax code, with the growth of this thing called tax strategy, the proper tax the financial planners have had to up their game. The ones that are in typical firms like the ones we have in our firm are people who understand the tax code. When they bring, the reason these guys become so interesting is because they are able to take different buckets and bring them together so that we are not only avoiding you tax, we are not only building wealth for you, but we're avoiding taxes and then giving you cash flow. Some of those strategies are just mind-boggling how these these guys working with us, we've been able to bring, okay, you bring one strategy. At the end of the day, we're asking you, why can we not take that strategy and bring it with this one? And then that is where we go and think, and then we learn, we bring those, and we say, yeah, if we put it like this, we do that, it's going to give you this additional strategy. We can talk about quite a few of those strategies, commingling of different strategies based on your understanding of the tax code. Many financial planners, they only know how to take you and put you in a bucket, And that's why they work in solos. They work together. They work in solos. You go and meet him. Oh, I'm a guy from Edward Jones. Oh, I'm a guy from this company. I'm a guy from this company. And that's it. They are learning how to put money for you. And the basic, they'll tell you, okay, put money in 401k because you put that money, you're going to save on taxes. But the game is not there. You've already maximized your 401k. That doesn't help you with anything. You're looking for, how do I get that excess, that extra? And that is where we see evolution, huge evolution for these guys who are coming from, who are working together with us, because the mindset is completely changed. We are working with a different mindset. And you coming to work with a family office like ours has to understand that you have that same mindset. So when you're reading the tax code, you're reading any pronoun, anything that comes up. He is reading in with the mindset that, how do I take this and use it with what strategy to make sure that we are giving this guy the most in terms of tax avoidance, in terms of wealth building, in terms of this. And that is really where the evolution, we've seen a lot of evolution in the game.
You're absolutely correct. Yes, financial planners do make commission. That's how they make their money. But that commission is only a small percentage of the wealth that you make. And there's no magic potion out there that we just mix two and have a chemical reaction. It's a tax plan. It takes a long, grueling hours thinking, and no tax strategy, no case is alike. Just like your 5 fingers are not equal, your tax plan of every person is not equal. And it varies with everything. And we have to do a lot of permutation and computation, and we have to do a lot of study of what strategy will work for you. It may work for Charles, but it may not work for Amit. Even if we are equal in every respect, it will not work because we have different goals, different perspectives, different what you want to do with our life. Then your family, your children, your wife, your spouses, they all play a role in your plan. How do you make sure that they are also taken care of? It's not just one person. You have to look at the whole picture, the whole family. That's why we go back to the same example of saying, we are the hub of your life. We want to bring you and make you grow. And that's the bottom line, is to help you grow. And we need the team together, a planner, a state attorney, your bookkeepers, your tax preparers. And one of the reasons why we guarantee everything is, and ask you that we let us prepare your taxes, because we can guarantee what if the CPA does not know what to do with it and may screw you up, and they cannot. But because we prepared the plan, we know what it is, and we can guarantee the strategy, and we can give it to you and make sure that this thing works. But other people, they don't understand. Financial planners, I can go to anybody, I can teach them for 8 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. If they don't understand, a lot of people say taxes are beyond me.
Yeah, I tell people that this game is a game it's not for everybody. Some people will not understand how to play this game. Some people will just not be willing, or some people are not able to play the game. And they will stay out and they will be taken away. They will just be taken by the economy. They will stay in that rat race forever. When you said something, I was thinking about this thing. When I look at some of the strategies that have grown into this market, which we never had so many years ago, things like charitable gifts finance, captive insurances. We have all these different strategies that today have come about because we are bringing those different strategies together in order to meet the overall goal of strategy. Not only to think about we are making you money, we're also thinking about how do we not only save you money, but also build you that significant wealth. And that's where I think we just cannot work in our game today without involving the financial plan. It is not just possible for us to work. We need that guy every step of the way, because most of our strategies today are centering around that guy. They have the license to be able to make those strategies, which even though we understand them, we need somebody who has a license to be able to implement. And that is where they become so integral part of this whole process. Quick question, Admin.
100% accurate. There's
Yes.
no, and that is very key to everybody to understand why we need to have a team, and we emphasize the fact to have the proper team that works for you, for your benefit, and not counterproductive to you. It's just like doing that surgery. The doctor who wants you to, under anesthesiologist is not working with you and not giving you the anesthesia at the right time. The doctor cuts you open. Now you're going to cry, and every time the scalpel hits you. That's Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam coming in with his scalpel, and every time Uncle Sam takes your money away from you, you're going to get hurt. So we need our anesthesiologist, which I could say, and our other team members to work together as a gel team to help you out with the least pain and build your wealth as we go.
We can speak about these things the whole day,
Oh,
and
yes.
I know that this is our passion. This is the game we signed up for, and we get excited about talking about these things. What is your final word before what is that final word that you want to say to somebody who's listening to us out there and is thinking maybe he has not yet started that game of tax planning? He's thinking about starting this game, but he's reticent. He still has that hold. There's something that's holding him from going. What is that final word you can tell that person?
Well, the final word I would say, if you are not involved in tax planning and not doing any kind of planning per se, you are paying Uncle Sam all the money that you want. It's just like you can call paying taxes like an amputation, or you don't want to defend yourself in an accident or a lawsuit. You just face the prison time. So you bring in the team, just like you bring an attorney in to protect you for anything from even in an car accident. You bring an attorney in, bring his team together, bring everybody together so you can grow. If you don't bring a team together that is all gel together as a team that is ready to work for you, which has your financial planners and which have everybody on your team, you're going to be wasting your time. Don't work in silos as a team.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't even agree more. Your wealth is in the tax code. We cannot emphasize that anymore. Your wealth is in the tax code. Most people out there have probably told you that the IRS or the tax code itself is aimed at making you pay taxes. It is the government of the United States does not live on taxes. It's very important. The government of the United States doesn't live on your taxes. When you pay your taxes, it's basically to help welfare for some people who are out there who need some benefit, who need some help. That's great. If you need charity, if you want to do charity, you better do charity by your own will and give your money to the buckets that you want to give them to. The IRS, the tax code, remains that incentive scheme. I call it an incentive program. It is that program that is aimed at enabling you get wealthy. That's the game of the tax. Because when you get wealthier, America gets wealthier. When you get wealthy, America gets wealthier. And if you don't do those things, you're going to stay in that rat race, and the government needs to take your money. Why do they take your money? Because they need to take your money because they have to pay those people that are dependent. They have to pay you when you retire. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Now we are basically contributing. You don't have an individual account for Social Security. So why would you be contributing to something that has no account for you? Why are you contributing to it? It's dying. Social Security that is really, really significant, it will be gone. So you don't have any interest. And moreover, even if you were to live on Social Security is $33,000, $34,000 a year. How many of us high income earners can live on $34,000 a month or even half a year? You cannot. So basically, the government, that thing that is called the tax code, is there for you to use it and build your own wealth. It is for you to build it, to use it to build your own economy, as David Perez says. It is your document to use to build your own economy. And you cannot do that by just working with your CPA. Your CPA doesn't understand it. The person who understands it is a strategist. The strategist works, he has studied, he has gone through a program, and he has implemented, he understands those things that you need to do. He reads the tax code. The work of the strategist is reading the tax code for your advantage. It's not about preparing taxes for you to pay. That is so important. So if you're out there and you're still thinking about this thing, every time you're thinking, you're losing money and you're losing what your whole purpose, because your purpose is to leave a legacy. You have a legacy to leave, and that legacy is, you cannot build any legacy if all the money that is for you to build your estate is going to somebody who cannot, is going through the drain. And that's how I call it. Yes, I mean, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, this last word is you said the right thing. Build your economy. Like David Harris said, build your economy. You're responsible for your own economy. We can take government doleouts and not be able to survive, or build your own economy and make your wealth, the team, and you will be able to live a very comfortable life. And it's not the 1% or the top 3% that we can. Instead of complaining that they are paying hardly any taxes, you could be doing it too, because the tax code is here to help you. The financial planners are here to help you. The state planners are to help you too. So we have everything: savings, growth, and protection.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, we can continue for the whole day, but we have to stop at some point. We are happy to speak with you, and like we said, this is a mainstay. We're going to be talking about these things on a regular basis. We're going to teach you on certain aspects of tax planning. We're going to give you some tips every session. Every time we have a session, we're going to leave with at least 2 tips that you can take and start implementing yourself. That is our goal. Today we wanted to tell you how important the tax planner is in the game of strategy. And we're going to talk on our next edition. You will get our tax planner to come and explain his role, how he's actually evolved in this game. Because I had that question come to me. How have they evolved in this game now that they're working in tangent? They're working together with tax planning and giving more value. There is no other place where we can give more value to any individual than through strategy. That is where your wealth is. That is where your plan, that is where your, what you call your purpose. Your purpose is stuck in something. You have to unbundle it and be able to implement it for yourself. That is the game we want to do for you. And that's why we bring the best people. We come here every day to educate you and tell you that there's something out there that if you have not started implementing, then you want to start implementing like yesterday. And we are here. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all these various platforms. And most importantly, be available for our next session because it's coming very soon. Thank you so much. Today is Saturday, another appointment for next Saturday. Thank you, and you have a blessed, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.